So hello everyone, good morning. It's really gorgeous to be here with Rowan and his coffee machine. I must say I'm blasted away by the waves of creativity in this room, most likely coming from the UK, but not only. The topic of my presentation that we spoke quite a few times with Jana is like a clash of cultures and how to make big ideas fly. And now I'm supposed to speak another 5 minutes while they are fixing on the presentation. So maybe we sing a song, a Macedonian song, why not? And so on. But I will, in the meantime, maybe say a few words about myself. That will be the short version, like 45 minutes. And then we go to the key topic of my presentation. So just as Jana said, by nationality, I'm Bulgarian and Finnish. By education, I'm Russian and Finnish. I got my master's degree from St. Petersburg State University, my PhD from Hanken School of Economics in Helsinki. By workplace, I'm Swedish. I'm a professor with the Stockholm School of Economics. And to confuse even more, by place of residence, I'm Estonian and I live in Tallinn, basically. And I'm in love with Narva because my wife is from Narva, so you must love Narva if your wife is from Narva. It's part of the deal, right? Houston, we have a problem. And when I got this invitation, for which I'm very grateful to Helen and Tiana, I thought like that, what exactly I'm going to say when you have this topic of clash of cultures, okay? And if you think of it, Narva is on the border with Russia, and you immediately start thinking like Estonian mindset versus Russian mindset, and then you have the UK, if we can speak of a UK mindset at all, right? And so on. But at the end of the day, I got with a little bit a different twist of my narrative, and I hope that you will find it useful once we manage to start. Okay. And now, yet another victory of humanity over machines. That's why we still rule this planet. All right, so clash of cultures, how to make small ideas fly in a big world. As I told you, I already told you about my colorful bunch of nationalities. One of the most difficult questions actually is when a taxi driver in Tallinn asks me, where do you come from? And I don't know which version to say, so I say I come from Costa Rica. But basically what I do for a living, as I said, I'm a professor with the Stockholm School of Economics. I train leadership and management. I don't train students. I only train managers. Then I'm kind of a motivational speaker. I guess you see me in this row at the moment, trying to agitate people that you can jump higher, you can do miracles if only you wish, and then they fall asleep. And then finally, I'm basically myself an entrepreneur, like many of you here in the room. Together with some Finnish friends, we own 2 small factories, one in Russia, one in Bulgaria. We are now starting a startup. Maybe you're looking at the new Mark Zuckerberg. You never know, right? So I'm a bit of an everything. How do you make it big from point of view of what I see in management, in leadership, and so on? And what turns actually ideas into success? I think the possible answer, and many people think that you need to have a good idea, right? That you must have a good idea, otherwise you will not make it big. But on the other hand, if you think of it, many ideas that made it big, they didn't start as good ideas, okay? They started just as an idea. And at the moment of the very genesis of this idea, they were not considered, oh man, this really blasts me away. So I don't really believe in good ideas. I actually believe that now in the coffee break, if each of us shares what you have in your mind as an interesting project, we will certainly by the end of the day end up with at least 10 ideas, right? So I think that the myth of a good idea is a bit exaggerated. Then you have a second possible answer, that in order to make it big, as a producer, as a creative director or anything, you need money. Le monnaie. But I think that, again, many people grossly miscalculate that that is about the ingredient that will make you big. Usually the logic is just give me money and then watch me spend them with a grace, okay? So I don't think that it's money either. So it's not big idea, it's not money. And to my understanding, basically what makes an idea fly in a big world, in a world of many cultures, is basically the right mindset. Or to borrow from, if you remember the movie Madagascar and the giraffe, Melvin, it always starts between your ears, right? And if you think of our minds, the way I see it, it's like that our minds are actually the end product of our culture. And now let me sound professorial for 15 seconds, but what is culture? Culture is like what we believe in, what are our values, what our daddy told us. Never ever do this again. What you have heard at the age of 5, that snakes are really bad, and you're shit scared of snakes for the rest of your life, and so on. And slowly but surely, culture actually builds your mind. And your mind, to borrow from Gandhi, is like that your beliefs, what you were taught or what you thought because of your culture, they become actually your words. And your words, they turn in your actions. Your actions will make your habits, which will determine your values, and suddenly you have your destiny. It's a very interesting, actually, a chain of psychological consequences. And if that is so, basically, what I want to share with you and what I believe we have all of us to do is actually to challenge our own culture. To challenge pretty much everything we were taught. Or at least to be able to observe how our culture is working against us in many respects. And I just want to give you a few illustrations. That one good example is the victim mindset. It's a psychological phenomenon that in each and one of us, we try to find the reason why our life is utter failure, or why our brilliant idea didn't fly. And I see this not only in Ida Viruma or in Narva, I see this in Latvia, I see this in Bulgaria, I've been also in places around Manchester some 10 years ago. Not one of the 100 places you want to see before you die. Huh? And many people in those places, it's not about you guys, it's about the Japanese family, okay? Many people in those places, they adopt the victim mindset. It will be a failure because whatever, the place is a shithole, people are leaving, there are no jobs, we are all going to die. But that is already kind of sabotaging your own idea before you even start. Because consciously or subconsciously, you take on the victim mindset. Another typical part of our, I would say, East European culture is our masochistic pleasure and desire to focus on problems. In Eastern Europe, we love problems. If we see a shit on the floor, where any Englishman will try to bypass it, any Swede will pretend not to notice it, any East European will immediately stop and start enjoying it. The moment we see a problem, we start digging in it in more and more, give me more, oh, it's bitter, it's difficult, it's big. And this is working very much against us, because we lose energy in general and we lose creative energy in specific to fight problems which are really small. They loom big only in our minds and in our consciousness. Another thing that I've noticed is typical for our culture in this part of the world, and where we should challenge ourselves, is like we are really secretive. Really secretive. We are like, remember this joke that a real KGB agent will think twice before not saying anything? So in many respects we are like that. We have a brilliant idea, but it will go with me in my grave. On my thumb it will be written that he had a great idea, but we never learned what it is. And this is in our nature, and I must tell that even from Scandinavia, when we went a couple of years ago in the Silicon Valley, and I was shit scared that I will see people smarter than me, it's never a pleasure. One of the most shocking events is how everybody shares with you. You know, they share with you what the whole startup is all about. How are we going to make the money? And we were like looking at it, aren't you kind of scared? Don't you think that I can kidnap the idea, and next thing you know, I am the Zuckerberg? And their answer was really stunning. Their answer was, but there are another 20 people with about the same idea out there. The first one who manages to form an alliance, the first one who manages to put it in the air and to prove that it flies, that's the one that will win. What is to be secretive about? In Eastern Europe, me, you, and one guy in Africa, but he died last year. So let's try not to be very open. Huh? And then we go to another interesting phenomenon that's purely from management and leadership. I think you will recognize some friends of yours, not yourself, of course. In our part of the world, you know, there is the so-called spa approach. Many men immediately imagine girls from Thailand and jacuzzi, but spa actually stands for sit, plan, and act. In our part of the world, we are not into the sitting and planning. We are into the acting right away. And usually what we do is first we act, then we are shocked by the shit we did, and then some of us says, maybe we plan it a bit. No need to plan, come on, let's hurry up, right? That's not very productive. Very often, no matter how cool is your idea, it really pays off to a little bit plan how you're going to do it. And that is the spa approach, right? And then we go to teamwork makes the dream work. And that is a mantra we repeat in management, in leadership all the time, but it's true. It's true. I must tell that we live in a world that is flushed with money. Actually, only the top 3 sovereign funds, which do not even include the Russian one. This will be Norway, Saudi Arabia, and China. They are sitting on 3 trillions US dollars. 3 trillions of cash that they need to do something with it. So the world is really flushed with money. Money is not an issue, if you ask me, at the moment. And the money is not short of ideas either. As I told you, I think that here the people in this room, by the end of today, we will have 20 flying ideas. So then you ask yourself, but what is that the missing thing? How do you make success out of these ideas and this available money? And for me, the miracle is that you need a team. Richard will be the creative one. You will be the smart one. I'll be the joker. One will take care of the finance. But you need a team. Many of us, we do not understand this. One-man show. My idea, my rules, and then we fly. It's not really how it works. And in this respect, I also think we should challenge our culture. And then we come, for anyone here who knows me, to my favorite part, positive attitude. Estonia is one of the most non-smiling countries after only 2 others. Belarus. In Belarus, I have the feeling that when you're born, you're told that please don't smile. Okay? It's a national obligation. And the second is Latvia. Anyone who you land in Riga airport, you think it's a day of national grievance in Latvia. You wish to ask people, did something happen in Latvia today? Is your president still alive? But Estonia comes definitely number 3. Nobody smiles. Not even in services. You go in shops, they are supposed to smile. And you know what I hear in Estonia? I hear this like, American smiles, but it's artificial. They are not honest. They're not genuine. Well, to tell you honestly, I rather prefer a non-genuine smile than a genuine hello. It's very difficult to befriend people, to build a network, to look attractive as a partner for any creative idea. If you actually do not put a small smile, okay, just like try a friendly face for a moment. And this is, I think, one, let's put it, big development area that Swedish English for many suck big time when it comes to positive attitude and smiles. And if you ask me, the battle we have to have is not the battle to find money. It's not a battle how to end up with a fantastic idea, but it's a battle with ourselves. It's a battle with our own culture. And I just touched upon what I think are the key points here that we should start with. We should revisit our understanding. And when you say that, but I am in Narva, so what is that is so bad in Narva? You still have a Skype connection to the world. You still can go on Kickstarter. On Kickstarter, they don't, oh, you're from Narva. Out. We only take people from New York. Okay? We should learn to be more open-minded and to collaborate. We should understand how important it is to have a team. We should understand how positive attitude is actually advantageous for us, and we should make a conscious effort to be more positive. And in this, I think that with the right mindset, there are very few ideas that can't really fly. Almost any can. And if we liberate ourselves from the dogmas and the stereotypes of our culture, then I genuinely believe that we can all reach for the stars, and impossible is next to nothing. And this is my key message to all of you, that I'm so happy again. It's seldom I will see so many creative people. You just feel the waves of creativity coming my way. But we all need to a little bit fight our own minds and get better in the way we see the world and in the way we act and interact together. With this, I just want to say a big thanks to Helen and Jana for inviting me. I hope you did find something useful. I try to be utterly modern, so I'm on any social media, not on Tinder. I have a wife from Narva. So please find me, and I will be honored to be your friend, at least through a distance. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.